When I left fundamentalist Christian churches and religion, I realized that deconstructing ex-Christians are gaslit by current active Christians about never having been a real Christian in the first place. When I started deconstructing and later on admitted that I was no longer a Christian or believed in the Christian or fundamentalist ideology, every negative comment I received were from Christians. People saying that I didn't know what I was talking about, that I wasn't a Christian, that I had never met God, that the real Christian flock in church was kind and loving. I mean, nowhere in these videos have I ever said, nowhere, no Christian, no religion is ever good, decent, or surprises me by going against the unfortunate conditioning I've had about believers. And I find it interesting how when you don't get enough grace from God, you're gaslit into saying or thinking, I'm not spending enough time with God, I'm not giving enough money. It's never that maybe he forgot to show up. It's always, I'm the problem, I'm the issue, I'm not doing enough, giving enough, being enough. They never, ever think, you know what? Maybe I'm at a party that no one else will ever come to. They never think for a second, I don't think it's me. Not until they get deep into deconstruction for some reason. I've been gaslit by thousands of Christians after deconstructing, even before I embraced atheism, because there was a 2-month period from February to April of this year. I wasn't a Christian, but I had not yet joined atheism. And people gaslit me every single time. Was an active Christian. They never really went into which denomination they were, but I can always tell. You have to be blind, not be able to tell who's a Christian. And it was always the same things. You weren't a real Christian. Real Christians can't leave. You never met the real God. You weren't in the right atmosphere. You didn't try hard enough. It's never ending. I'm always the problem. I'm always the reason. And it never stops. It never stops. Why do people say these things? From what I've learned in psychology, they're conditioned to see everything that doesn't line up with how they believe or what they've experienced as a threat, or Satan's trying to lead someone away. Common forms of Christian gaslighting: before, during, after deconstruction. These are some of the main gaslighting phrases that Christians say. Everything happens for a reason. God is testing you. God has a plan for your suffering. You're not trusting God enough. You need more faith. It's called weaponizing doubt, blaming the victim, shifting responsibility, questioning sanity, using scripture, doubting authenticity. And it doesn't change. You never were a Christian, because people who really experience God don't walk away. Well, in my opinion, if somebody's not experiencing your God, doesn't understand how things work, maybe, just maybe, the people who recruited and explained it were just awful at their job. And gaslighting, if gaslighting did not work and did not exist in Christianity, I honestly believe that 75% of religious people would have left years ago. When people push down doubt and aren't allowed to even experience how doubt even works, or even to have doubt feelings, is villainized in religion. I honestly believe people stay up to 10 years after they really experience doubt. And I'm not talking about doubt where I'm not sure. Because everybody, even people on your wedding day, have doubt. I'm talking about people who have doubts about ideology, where they may or may not understand how Christianity works. And it's not because they don't know, it's because they may or may not have the faith required to be a Christian. We're talking about doubt that changes how you view yourself and your religion. The really nitty-gritty, I'm not sure. And it's not because I don't know or understand. It's because I honestly have doubt. The real kind of doubt. And there's a difference between being confused and having doubt. Very few people know the difference. Okay? Having genuine concern the night before you get married, those are like genuine concern. Doubt is something everyone has to deal with. Even atheists have to deal with doubt. But we're not afraid of it. We embrace it. We love it. Not knowing what or how something works is one of the joys of being an atheist. It's so freeing not having to have all the answers. Problem is, with a lot of religions, people don't have the emotional maturity or the philosophical education for vast different ways of thinking to not live under a constant mental gymnastics cycle. I mean, the amount of mental gymnastics you have to do daily to believe in something that you can't prove, never have seen, but you actually gaslight yourself into believing is astronomical. Understanding how Christianity works now as an atheist, it's hard to believe the amount of things and how often I had to convince myself was real. And every type of doubt has a fail system in religion. If you doubt this, they have a solution. And it's usually you're not good enough, you're not being a good enough Christian, you need to read more, give more, lose more. It's never about, maybe it's not me. Maybe there's something wrong, something different, something that needs to be addressed. But the gaslighting is astronomical. You could not, I had to go to therapy for almost 3 years to even have a concept of what gaslighting looks like. Doubting your own reality. And I've met people that were gaslit into remaining in religions that they almost didn't believe in, or they hung by a thread for over 10 years because spiritual religious gaslighting is so effective, it can actually kill you. It can keep you in abusive marriages, toxic work and family dynamics. You can really lose yourself. Doubt, honestly, if someone's not comfortable expressing, feeling, and resolving doubt in a healthy way, it says a lot about the environment they're in. I grew up in an environment where I was not allowed to express or demonstrate negative emotion. Do you know what kind of toll that takes on somebody? Not being able to genuinely express anger, disappointment, rage. I honestly believe that a lot of churches are so emotionally repressed, they can't even recognize gay panic of heterosexuality. The fear of being gay in these circumstances is very similar to how somebody reacts when they realize they have doubt. They squelch it, hide it, prevent it, dissociate from it, ignore it, but you can't talk it away. You can live a lie, but you can't talk it away. You have to face it, experience it, and deal with it. And sometimes doubt is your neurological system saying, you know what, I'm not okay. And religious women especially, they are taught not to listen or believe their inner voice. Like their discomfort doesn't matter, their feelings, desires, or lack does not matter. You have to get in your role, stay in your role, do what you need to do, and whatever makes you uncomfortable is just part of being who you are. And it all comes back to not facing reality. Sometimes doubt is your body's way of saying, I don't feel safe. I don't feel okay. Women have an unusual sense. We call it women's intuition. They know when something's wrong. They can push it down, ignore it, or they can deal with it. And doubt is usually the jump start for any crisis of religious belief, deconstruction. I mean, deconstruction looks different depending where, when, and whom it involves. But it has to start with doubt, confusion, or something that triggers an identity crisis. And religious people won't deal with doubt, because if you no longer believe this way, you lose everything. Your job, your family, your kids, your social and religious circle, your mentors, your whole identity is your belief. So anything that is a threat to it, like doubt, you have to either gaslight yourself or you allow people to gaslight you, with or without even realizing it. And that's why it's so scary to be different. And when everything is riding on believing if somebody is real and if God exists, you will do anything in your power to deflect anything that said otherwise, because they can't cope. It's as scary for them to get into why they're doubting as it is somebody coming out as gay in a religious or secular environment. And it really is terrifying, because nobody wants to realize I wasted half my life on something that's as real as the Easter Bunny. So yeah, religion, they haven't monopolized it, but man, are they good at it. They are so good at gaslighting. You would doubt yourself and anything that doesn't bring you back to God. It's one of the most effective techniques I've ever seen, and it is an abusive relationship. Healthy relationships don't control access to information. They don't tell you to squelch your doubt. They want you to be comfortable in your own skin. And when someone says, I'm the only way for you to understand reality and what the universe and why you're here is all about, that is textbook gaslighting for domestic violence perpetrators. And that's what I learned. My relationship with religion and God is an abusive dynamic. And if you don't get enough from your abuser, the people who also believe in that kind of relationship are telling you you deserve it. It's called the victim complex. And it's so sad. people deserve so much better. And if you took God out of it and put a human being in that role, if someone does not give you enough for you to feel secure, they don't show up, they don't do what they claim they're going to do, you would call that partner AWOL. You would call your partner dead on arrival. That's not a relationship. They're using you. And I had to have professionals help me understand why and how these people gaslight me.